Economic experts predict a recession with odds of over 50%. Rising gas prices and interest rates, along with other economic indicators, paint a bleak picture for the economy in 2023. But real estate may remain strong. Strong employment and steady home prices may overrule the recession theory. As a homeowner, investor, or buyer, you may wonder what a recession does to the housing market. Here is all about what happens to housing when there's a recession. What happens to home prices during a recession? Recessions involve a drop in economic activity. Employment, income, retail sales, and production falls. Unemployed people can't pay their mortgages, causing foreclosures and potentially more available homes. Low earnings, higher interest rates, and economic uncertainty make fewer people want a new or bigger mortgage. According to the theoretical scenario, home prices should decrease when there is more available housing inventory for sale and there is little demand. However, each market in recession is unique. During a recession, what happens to real estate? It depends on many factors. Past events can help predict the future. Past real estate recessions, prices, and history. Recent years have seen an unheard of boom in real estate sector. Even a return to normalcy might appear to be a major crash at this point. But does this resemble the housing bubbles from earlier years? And is it about to pop? The decade of the Great Depression, home prices fell by 67% because of the enormous number of foreclosed properties at the time. Today's strict regulations ought to stop this from happening again. In 1929, the stock market crash, which was brought on by failing agricultural sector, low wages, and excessive debt, was a significant contributor to the recession. And the fact that there were numerous sizable loans that the banks were unable to pay off only fueled the fire. Prior to the Great Recession, from around 2000 to 2007, real estate prices surged due to subprime lending practices and teaser negative amortization loan programs. Many people were left with homes and mortgages they could not afford. Lenders were unable to recoup the sizable sums of money they had dispersed during those prosperous times. At this time, several sizable businesses and investment firms, including Lehman Brothers, failed. This resulted in widespread panic and significant difficulties for those who needed money to maintain their businesses. At the same time, unemployment fell to levels that nearly matched post-World War II record lows because of numerous social economic factors. Then home prices fell by over 26%, causing the worst housing market crash since the Great Depression in the 1930s. Shorter recessions in home prices. It is essential to keep in mind that the housing market was a significant contributor to the Great Depression at the time it occurred. The housing market is less susceptible to influence of other economic indicators that can lead to recessions. The price of housing increased during both of the great or brief recessions that occurred in the 1980s, as well as the recessions that took place in 2001. According to the data collected, only the economic downturns that occurred in 1990 and 2008 caused a decline in home prices. Housing markets are typically the ones to feel the effects of shorter recessions. This is especially obvious in regions where the prices at which homes are being sold are higher. Homes that have moderate price tags experience price drops that are also considered to be moderate. There is no question that the pandemic brought about a one-of-a-kind confluence of events. Because of this, it is difficult to take an accurate prediction regarding what will take place if the housing bubble bursts again. When times are tough, the federal government reduces interest rates to encourage consumers to spend more money and get the economy moving again. In the year 2020, the federal government made rapid progress toward resolving this problem. They are still making a significant amount of effort to promote economic growth and job creation. Although war-related increases in fuel prices have not helped the situation in any way. These actions make it appear unlikely that another recession will have the same effect of the housing market as did the Great Recession. This is the case even though interest rates will continue to rise steadily in 2022 and possibly throughout 2023 to curb runaway inflation. Mortgage rates typically fall during recessions. The impact of a recession on the cost of financing a home can be visualized using this historical data. The data shows how mortgage rates change each time the economy contracted in this country, starting with the recession that began in 1980. It is observed in 1980 recession mortgage rates dropped by 4.25%. In 1981's recession, rates dropped by 5%. During the recession of 1991, mortgage rates decreased by 2.25%. And in 2001's recession, mortgage rates dropped by 0.63%. And then again during 2008's recession, they decreased by 1.13%. And finally, in 2020's short recession, they dropped by 1%. An economic downturn, according to Fortune magazine, mortgage rates typically decline. From the recession's peak to its trough, mortgage rates have decreased on average by 1.8 percentage points over the past 5 downturns, and in many instances, even after the recession was officially over, they kept falling because it takes time to turn things around. Even though history doesn't always repeat itself, we can still benefit from it and take solace in the general patterns of what has happened in the past. Working with a reliable real estate agent can help you make the best decision if you're considering buying or selling a home, especially with an upcoming recession. This way, you can better understand how this recession may affect the housing market. Factors that impact housing during a recession. Anything that influences supply and demand in the housing market is potentially capable of causing a crash in housing prices. Supply and demand are always the drivers behind real estate prices. These factors include rising interest rates, employment, and a lack of available mortgages in the market. However, cheaper home prices aren't always a bad thing. In some cases, they can be the result of positive developments, such as an increase in the number of housing options that are within affordable price ranges. When the economy is in a state of turmoil, certain housing markets are more severely impacted than others. The following are some of the ways in which a recession can affect prices of homes in various markets. Upper middle to higher priced properties sometimes devalue more. Wealthier homeowners are more aware of the overall financial picture when making some purchases. Due to the uncertainty in the future, they may therefore delay purchasing expensive homes in times like the present. It is more likely that these people will hesitate because of outside factors like stock market prices. As a result, there will be less of a market for upscale pricey properties, which will cause prices to decline. First-time homebuyers and lower-end purchasers place more emphasis on interest rates, so if these are stable, they continue to purchase homes. Because of this, low to mid-priced homes endure recession for a longer period of time. Location affecting pricing. Historically speaking, the price declines that occurred in metropolitan areas are typically more severe than those that occur in rural areas. This is in part of the result of a vicious cycle, in which buyers in urban areas look for homes in more stable markets outside of the city. Industrial effects. Historically speaking, when a recession hits, the housing market has hit the hardest in cities that are centered around the energy industry. The rate of price decline is typically more gradual in regions that place greater emphasis on economic staples. New developments are at a greater risk. During a recession, when financial difficulties become increasingly severe, businesses, including those in the construction industry, begin to liquidate their assets. Home buyers consider new developments to be riskier bets. As a result, developers are more likely to be reluctant to sell homes out of concern that the builders will fail to finish the projects they are currently working on. In times of economic uncertainty, buyers are more likely to put their money into established communities because these communities already have everything in place. If you want a more detailed and personalized analysis of how this current recession may affect your house or your plans on purchasing a home, please reach out to me directly, as I do offer free real estate planning and consultations to all of my clients, friends, and family. What do you think of my video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit the subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.